Hello, my more brothers, back again. This time, we're going to give the ladies a break and we're going to do something a little bit more important, especially for us YouTube content creators out there. So this is going to go not only for IBMORs and red pill black guys, but also MGTOWs, because it's something I haven't seen in the press or even online on YouTube or Google. When this kerfuffle came up about shutting down sites and black women attacking YouTube sites, it came out that advertisers were pulling money from Google and YouTube because of ads running on so-called hate speech or inappropriate placement of ads on non-compatible videos. So I didn't think that it was a big enough problem amongst the black manosphere corner of Google, of YouTube, to warrant a $750 million pullout from general ads. It didn't make sense. So as I started investigating, it's a wider problem and it has very little to do with us. We just happen to be the subgroup that has gotten swept up in the kerfuffle around these ads, around this ad placement, that was actually aimed at terrorist groups or hate groups, especially since Donald Trump got elected. So the further I dug, I finally found an article that actually explained where all this got started. And the story is bizarre, but in the sense of the advertising world and people making money with software, it makes a terrible lot of sense. And this is the first I've heard of it. But I'm going to read you an article that I found. Ad Age. Ad Age is a very old newspaper or magazine that comes out like every week or so, and it talks about the news and advertising, and it's something that was not actually in the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or any other newspaper, but it very distinctly says where the source of the problem is, and it happens to do with a guy named Jonah Fineberg. So now I'm going to read to you the article that I found in Ad Age, and then I'll come back with my analysis. Meet the man behind YouTube's sudden ad crisis. He has a patented fix. Major marketers' ads have likely been showing up on or near YouTube's videos promoting terrorism, neo-Nazi groups, and other web content for a long time. So why has the brand safety problem suddenly burst into the open, prompting big advertisers such as General Motors, Walmart, Verizon, AT&T, and Johnson & Johnson to stop spending on YouTube or other Google properties? Thank or blame Eric Fineberg, a longtime marketing service executive who in recent months has made it his mission to find ad-supported content linked to terror and hate groups, then push links and screenshots proving it happened to journalists in the UK and the US. The resulting coverage has sparked a full-fledged advertiser revolt. Mr. Fineberg owns Southfield, Michigan-based GPEC, short for Global Intellectual Property Enforcement Center, which employs deep web integration to find keywords and coding linked to terrorism and hate speech. He's also a co-owner of a patent issued in December for a computerized system method for detecting fraudulent or malicious enterprises. His system works in part by analyzing when videos and websites contain words that appear alongside such phrases as "kill Jews." He's logged thousands of sometimes innocuous or obscure sounding terms, he says, co-trend with such hate speech or exhortations to violence, which in turn helps him find offensive videos. His effort with the media have been classic problem solution marketing. Mr. Fineberg makes no bones about his interest in licensing his technology to Google and other digital platforms to monitor offensive content and keep ads away from it. Certainly, Google knows plenty about artificial intelligence and machine learning, as its executives have eagerly informed marketers in public and private presentations for years. And last week, as the major advertisers, one after the other, press pause on YouTube advertising. Google said in a blog post that it is beefing up its tech efforts and hiring more people to prevent placement of ads with unsavory content. A spokesman declined to comment further. But Mr. Fineberg said in an interview on Friday that he doubts Google can succeed. At least he said, not without violating my patent. Seemingly, there shouldn't be a market for what Mr. Fineberg has to sell. Brand safety or monitoring ad placements to prevent brands from appearing alongside porn and other embarrassing content is a standard part of offerings from digital audience measurement firms such as Moat, which in late 2015 became a first such company invited by YouTube to monitor the site for agencies and brands. Moat CEO Jonah Goodhart declined to comment on Mr. Fineberg's system because he's not familiar with it, but conceded that the ad placement issue is a topic that seems to be important to folks. I don't know that an advertiser is able to see the URL where their ads run by policy of some of the major sites, Mr. Goodhart said in an email. So one can crawl the web and find bad content, but that's a different thing than stopping an advertiser from appearing on it. Again, though, I don't know him or his company, so maybe they do something else. Mr. Fineberg wants to sell his tech to digital platforms themselves, not to brands, agencies, or third-party monitors. That's because he's not just out to make money, he said, but to stop terrorists and hate groups from making money off digital advertising. He said he likened the idea of selling his tech piecemeal to brands and agencies to fixing your toilet or sink at the house when the problem is at the sewer or the reservoir. So why have Google and seemingly sophisticated ad tech firms failed to find the stuff he keeps finding? They aren't really understanding key trending or keywords, and they're not looking for it like we do. Mr. Fineberg said, I have a database of thousands of words, phrases linked to nefarious activity. One is a Serbian word roughly translated as Hanwa, which has been co-trending with jihadist content online. YouTube Red, YouTube's ad-free subscription service, advertised its movie, The Thinning, on one such Hanwa video on Saturday, according to a link and screenshot he sent. Whether all this will help Mr. Fineberg close a deal with Google or anyone else is hard to say. If he doesn't and Google develops its own solution, he can try to stake a patent claim. Does that make him a patent troll? He argues that he's doing something different that can patent. He argues that he's doing something different than patent litigators that apply an obscure patent to something tech firms were already doing anyway. Mr. Fineberg, by contrast, has gone to great and public lengths in recent weeks to demonstrate that his technology can root out problems Google hasn't found. I'm doing it for the industry, he said. I'm an old ad guy. Certainly he's no typical ad tech guy. He spent nearly 2 decades running an event marketing, promotion, and social media activation firm focused on sporting events under the name Extreme Advertising and Promotion, based variously in New York and Boca Raton, Florida. Among his efforts were branded tractor-trailer wraps during the Super Bowl in Miami in 1999. He said he's had numerous Fortune 500 clients over the years, including Motorola, General Motors, Sprint, and PepsiCo. Working on NFL promotions alerted Mr. Fineberg to the problem of counterfeit licensed merchandise, prompting him to form Fans Against Counterfeit Enterprise, or FAKE, a company focused on rooting out digital ads from largely Russian and Chinese purveyors of fake but authentic-looking goods. He said he also began 5 years ago working on the musicians to track down pirated videos on YouTube and elsewhere, so they could either have them taken down or get compensated. 2 years ago, following the terror attack in France on the Charlie Hebdo newspaper, he began turning his attention to terrorist-linked content online. I'm sickened by it, Mr. Fineberg said, contrasting ads supporting terrorism hate groups to what he did in brand promotions. I'm proud of what I did, he said. That's why I'm doing this. It's a level of passion. So basically what we have here is a advertising huckster with some software that's trying to basically blackmail Google into buying his solution to ad placement. And he's caused such a big enough stink with the newspapers to actually start the pullout, because he's embarrassing these big corporations that spend a lot of money into causing a big enough stink to make Google fix their ad placement. Now you have all these companies scrambling to find a solution to this problem that Mr. Fineberg uncovered. And it looks like that the black manosphere has got swept up in this tidal wave along with everybody else, even though we are not the major source of the problem or the main players. It's a strict money play from top to bottom, all initiated by this guy and some left-wing newspapers that are talking about hate speech. Now, since they physically don't have enough people to actually canvass all these videos and take down all these or demonetize all these videos with ads and whatnot, they're starting to use this and develop this AI, artificial intelligence. Google's doing it, Moat's doing it, and I don't know if they're going to test out GPAC's solution, but that seems to be where it's headed. So since we have AI bots going through our videos, we don't know what they're going to deem that's inappropriate, because there's no way YouTube can actually physically go through 400 hours of video every day and determine what content goes on and what content doesn't. So in some cases, they're going to wholesale delete videos, and in some cases, they won't bother it at all. Because even though women have been flagging my videos, there's some videos that have no bad content and no curse words, and there's others that are a little bit more salty. But the AI bots that have gone through it have only basically flagged 3 that I can think of, and therefore minor things like using a picture or using somebody's name. But since, brothers, that we all make content, we don't know what the AI is going to flag and what it's not going to flag, because it's a different world out there with YouTube. I suspect they're going to be a little bit more lenient in a couple of weeks. But right now, since the heat is on about these advertisers, it's kind of time to lay low a little bit. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do the stories. I'm saying you should change your delivery just a tad, just like O'Shea Jackson said. We're walking by the graveyard, so we're going to have to walk a little quieter, just a little bit. I suspect YouTube is going to get this thing straightened out within a couple of weeks. The advertisers need eyeballs at the end of the day, and they don't have enough content creators. There's only so many makeup videos that you can actually do, and there's only so many videos that attract male eyeballs. And I suspect that after the new rules are written and we know how the AI is actually going to react to a video, we'll learn the new lay of the land. So for all the women out there that think they have so much power, you actually don't. You're actually taking advantage of the environment that's around us and around the advertising digital layout or landscape as it sits right now. It has really nothing to do with you. Sophia Nelson was very slick. She took advantage of something that was already there and tried to take credit for it. She doesn't have as much power, or these women don't have as much power as they think they do. And once it all gets straightened out, all they will have done is piss us off, which I think they've done a good royal job of doing that. I know I am a little bit more pissed off now, but it's a drop of information that's not any place else. I hope you find it useful. I'm going to put the link to the article in the description so you can read it for yourself. I'm sure there's other links that will go with it, but it's a vital piece of information that nobody's talking about. But with that, I'm going to bow out for now. This is BGS out, and I'll see you on the next one.